Hi, my name's Yasi. I left my MBB management consulting job last year, and here are just a few things I've come to realize that I wish I could go back and tell my younger self. For some reason, the algorithm loves pushing out consulting videos of mine, but I also do talk about general career lessons as I'm learning them in real time. I talk about personal finance and balancing a creative lifestyle while working in tech. So if any of those are of interest to you, you know what to do. Anyways, point one, the three MBB firms, McKinsey, Bain, BCG, are not interchangeable or identical. When I was recruiting in college, people around me would often lump these three together, which makes sense because they're quite different from Big Four consulting. But over time, I realized that the expected career trajectory, types of projects you have exposure to, and staffing models, just to name a few factors, are all quite different across these three firms. It is still true that no matter which one you pick, you'll be fine. Number two, one of the major appeals that consulting had to me, a wide-eyed college student, was that I would be able to get broad exposure to a bunch of industries and niche down when I wanted to in my specific area of interest. I wouldn't go so far to call this false advertising because in general it is true that you get more exposure to different industries compared to your college friends who might have gone into a specific industry. However, not all consulting firms serve all industries, and if there isn't a robust pipeline of client work coming in, you're going to find it extra difficult to get staffed on clients you really want to work for. And that's why when some of you reach out to me saying, I work at X firm, how do I get staffed on Y industry projects? I say, girl, you think I know? My best hand-me-down advice is just follow the good people because they will invest in your development and give you more opportunities to showcase your impact. Number three, if you like to hate on consulting, you are in enemy territory because one of the skills I think is super valuable that you uniquely get working in consulting and maybe like two other industries is executive communication. To me, that means succinct, structured, top-down communication, being able to go into the weeds of the analysis or be super high level and abstract depending on who your audience is, all the while being calm, likable, and maintaining credibility, especially if you're super young and presenting to a very high level stakeholder. From what I've seen now working in tech, you just don't get the same amount of opportunities to talk to executives. Number four, part of the reasons a lot of consultants start finding their work very monotonous and repetitive is because it is fundamentally designed to be that way. Yes, for every new project, you're working with a new client, you're delivering new deliverables, and you're working with new data, but oftentimes the approach, frameworks, and structure of a client project will be borrowed from a previous case example. It makes sense for new clients. They're investing a lot of money. They want to guarantee some returns and keep up with competition. And it makes sense for the consulting firm. It's easier to replicate. But for the working level consultant, your personal growth and intellectual fulfillment starts declining after like 2 to 3 years. That is one of the many reasons that people start leaving. I hope you found this interesting and I'll see you next time. Bye.